Everybody, welcome back. It is Monday. We're still going hard on the 6.7 Ram Mega Cab 2007. I have made headway, friends. You guys know there's lights on the dash. We bought this truck from auction. It had lights on the dash. It had all kinds of little annoying issues, but I'm making headway and I feel like the end is near. My brake light, ABS light, and cruise control didn't work, and the other two lights were on. I tried to put a new wheel speed sensor in last video. I got a lot of good feedback from you guys. A couple of you are saying maybe I need to drive it and it'll go away, etc., etc. But remember, friends, I have my scan tool, and my scan tool was showing no signal at the rear wheel speed sensor. I put a new one in. It's like 20 bucks for one. And I said, well, we'll start with something easy. Now, I did figure out the problem, and the problem was a broken wire. I'll show you guys underneath. Okay, if you guys look, there's a green jumper there, and I ran it all the way to the front. I got my voltmeter there. You guys can see there's that plug. I'll show you guys. This plug here comes down from under the hood and plugs in this fender well area. I don't really like where it is, but this is a known sore spot for these trucks. It's a Ram thing. You tend to get broken wires and issues, and just issues in general. So this feeds your fuel pump and all your rear electronics, your wheel speed sensor, etc., etc. Now the wire goes up and over the frame and right here. Now you guys can see I ripped apart all the wiring that I could get at, okay, to try and figure out what's going on. These two wires here that are twisted together, yellow or green with a yellow stripe and green with a white stripe, those are my two wires. Now I can only trace it as far as the fuel tank would let me, because this thing has a monster fuel tank in it. Okay, but that's what I found, and I found nothing. I found no broken wires. I found no issues of any kind. Okay, from a visual inspection. So what I did was I took my jumper wire, okay, and I used alligator clips, and I clipped the wire onto the wheel speed sensor and fed it all the way back to here. Okay, put a probe in, and I hooked it up manually from here to the rear wheel speed sensor. Well, guess what? The light went out. So then I was like, okay, we definitely got a broken wire. So I took this wire and made a jumper and jumped from this end, from the plug that plugs into the wheel speed sensor. I plugged it into there, okay, and then I ran it all the way back to me, and then I took my ohmmeter here and I clipped my ohmmeter onto this end of the wire and touched my jumper, okay, to see if I had continuity. The one wire, which is green and white, no continuity, meaning there's a break somewhere. So what I did was I cut the wire here, and I'm going to solder it back together nice. I'm going to take that wire and I'm going to feed it all the way through here and run it all the way to the back. Okay, friends, and now the ABS light, brake light is all off. I haven't test driven this thing because, of course, we're working on it, but I assume that the cruise control will work now. We'll have to wait and see, but I think it's fixed. Also, I have a new muffler, 8-inch muffler. I'm just waiting for my tailpipe. That should be coming today, and then we can change those horrible brakes that are on here and just get it done. So I'm going to fish this through, solder it, and make this all nice again. We shouldn't have any more problems. Spent about an hour pulling wires and soldering both ends. Now look, I don't even have my scan tool hooked up. I'll put the key in it. We're looking for these two lights, and look, they go out on their own. So there you guys go. If you have that problem on a Ram, I'm guessing any 3rd gen Ram, check your wiring. You don't even have to pull it apart. Just make a jumper wire and check for continuity. Run it to one end, and then check. Put your multimeter on ohms and check it check if there's any resistance. If there's none, well, then you know you got a break in the wire. Well, it's a couple days later from the first portion of this video. I have made major headway, friends. Okay, when I got this truck, rear doors didn't unlock. You guys can see the whole back seat is full of parts. Well, I'll show you the parts I got and kind of where we're going. This side, all the wires in here were broken. Okay, I bought complete new wiring harnesses and scabbed them in. Now, these are aftermarket harnesses. Wasn't super impressed with them. The wire that goes from here, there's a little solenoid in here. I guess it's for the lock. Turns the light on. That wire was too short, so I ended up having to cut and scab the original wiring harness to that. Now, my biggest issue right now is this switch. It's backwards and it's slow. So the wiring harnesses that I got, of course, aftermarket, they're wired backwards. So, and basically I'll show you guys what's going on here. Okay, so when I first got this truck, I'll turn the key on here. Shut that off. There you go. When I first got this truck, you guys can see here. Okay, these didn't work. I couldn't roll down the back windows. I also could not lock the doors. Now, it won't lock right now because the key's in the ignition. That's a good feature. But now the rear doors lock. Now, this one here, friends, up. Look, I'm going to push it up. Up is down and down is up. Okay, so I got some issues here. Now look at this. Again, aftermarket parts. They are what they are. Okay. Up is down. Now look when I hit it down. It's really slow going up. So I definitely got some issues. And again, look. Okay, they work though. So I'll have to, all I gotta do, friends, is pull both, you know, put this back up. I'll have to pull the wires on this side. Okay, all I'm going to do is I'll pop this out and trace the wires. You see this side works. But now what I did, friends, there was just 2 broken wires in here. So I soldered them back together. I put a couple inches of extra wire in there so they're long. They're not pulled so tight. And now everything works on this side. So that's a huge win. Again, we got parts and bulbs and exhaust clamps. I bought the good band clamps. Okay, I'll show you guys what I ordered and what I've completed. Okay, so to date I fixed my charging issue. So an alternator and 2 batteries, a new crossover positive line. That's all done. That was, I don't know, 350 bucks Canadian for an alternator and 2 batteries, something like that. 400 bucks. I ordered 2 new front hubs. These are from Detroit Axle. I've ordered from them before. I've had good luck with their parts. Couple of hubs, about $200 Canadian for 2 hubs. Cheap, cheerful. And we're going to be putting these in. My rear rotors are pretty thin, friends. I ordered these drilled and vented rotors. They're directional. 4 of them. Okay, so that's all done. I'm just going to completely redo the brakes. You know, 350 bucks for 4 rotors and pads. Very reasonable. The parts for this truck are definitely cheaper than the parts for my F-250. So, I think because there's so many of these on the road. Okay, friends, and what I'm going to do is, hey, they fit. That's always a good sign, eh? When stuff fits. What I'm going to do here, friends, is I'm going to put some of these parts away, and we'll keep looking at what's left. Just give me a second here. Okay, and another thing I did yesterday. Friends, I keep getting rained out, so I'm just running and gunning. I'm doing work when I can. Also, it was my daughter's birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, baby. She was 3, and we had a birthday party, and we went to a place called Tinkertown. That's a fair that's here, a place. So busy this weekend. I put new taillights. I ordered these online. They're just generic taillights for this truck, both sides. This one was broken, friends. And again, a lot of this stuff, maybe you wouldn't do this to your truck. I want this thing to be perfect. I want no lights on the dash. I want every accessory working. You may not be that picky, and that's okay. This is just what I'm after. Okay, so new taillights. They look good. They fit perfectly. Now, right here, friends, a lot of you guys mentioned this. And, oh, that reminds me. I got a bill to pay. Tariffs, friends. Okay, we got an intake gasket here. And if you have a 6.7, if you don't know about this, look into it. This is a BD diesel grid heater from the factory. Okay, this is the bus bar for the grid heater. All the power runs through there. It has a bolt that goes through, and there's a nut on the bottom or head of the bolt. That bolt can actually, and not can, usually it will over time is what I'm being told. That bolt can rust out or get cooked from the amount of amperage going through here, and it can actually fall into the intake and end up in your number 6 cylinder, and that's a $20,000 day. So ordered this online. Comes with everything you need. It even comes with a Torx bit. Okay, we'll be doing this. This is one of the last things I'm going to do, but this should improve starting in winter, I would think. And again, friends, this kit from BD Diesel, I bought this from a Canadian. I think I bought this from CanadianDieselParts.ca, I think it was called. I ordered it, and they didn't have this in stock. I ordered this and one more other part, more of a need than a want, but they said they didn't have one of the parts in stock, and literally like the next day, friends, this showed up. So good stuff. That's about $200, I think. So again, you guys could do the math, and I'm going to share with you. Remember, I bought this truck for half price. So in your area, if this is a $20,000 truck, you can assume $10,000. I'm not going to say what I paid for it because it really doesn't matter. It depends on where you're at. Okay, friends, so a couple $100 for this. I also ordered a docking station for my tuner. I'm going to leave that Minimax for a while. The truck seems to run really good with it. Some people are saying to get EFI Live. I looked into that. It would be nice, but I can't spend a couple $1,000s on a tuner and tunes for a truck that I haven't driven. That money could probably be used somewhere better for me. But the Minimax, this truck is already drilled and tapped for an EGT probe, which is an exhaust gas temperature. And I noticed it wasn't working. And when I went to unplug it, the plug that goes into the docking station or into the tuner was actually rusted, corroded. And when I pulled it apart, the wires came out of the plug. So I bought a new docking station that I can wire back up to my tuner, and then I can have an accurate exhaust gas temperature reading. That way I know if my truck goes lean, etc., etc. I monitor the exhaust gas temperatures on my 7.3 religiously. That truck will pull 1100, 1150 degrees on the EGT probe regularly when I'm towing. If it's hot out and I'm towing 10,000 pounds in the wind, it'll pull that. So I like to pay attention. So again, we'll do a video on this. I want to get that done sooner than later because this truck does not fit in my shop. I think it will if I put the rims and tires off of my Power Stroke. I think it would probably fit, but it won't fit with these rims. Okay, another thing that I bought, This is personal taste. Having trouble finding an exhaust system with a muffler, friends. Most of these trucks, I noticed, I'm just gonna back you guys up. Most of these trucks, when you order an exhaust for them, they don't have a muffler on them. And most of them are 5-inch. I'm noticing a lot of 5-inch exhausts for these trucks out there. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, friends. You rip by with a tuned diesel and you have a straight pipe, I'm going to look and be like, wow, that sounds good. But honestly, for driving on the highway and all the other things I do, this thing right now has a 4-inch dump behind the cab. And I'll do a before and after for you guys. It's loud. When you're driving, just the little bit of driving I've done around here, it's loud, friends. It drones and whistly and you could hear it. I don't like that. So I ordered this 8-inch, 4-inch inlet, 4-inch outlet, 8-inch exhaust muffler. So we're going to install this in the truck. Okay, and the last thing really, other than, friends, I need a clock spring. I'm going to order a factory one for that. I got a guy that's going to hook me up that can get me parts from the dealer. But I'm going to order a factory clock spring for the steering wheel. And then honestly, the only thing that'll be left once I do the brakes, and again, we're going to do that this week. Maybe even tonight I'll tackle it if it doesn't rain. But if you guys look, it's been raining here. I'm not complaining. Shout out to the farmers. Most of my neighbors are farmers. They've been having a rough go, friends. But anyways, so I ordered this. This is a 4-inch. And again, I'm throwing all my garbage because eventually, friends, all the garbage in there will end up in here, and that's when I know I'm done. I ordered this MBRP exhaust system. Okay, this is very similar to the one that I put on my truck, my 7.3 Power Stroke. I still have bits and pieces of that one in my shop, so if I need any piping, this will work. That was part of the reason why I ordered this. Nice thick wall. I didn't order the stainless one. I wanted to, friends, but again, the whole point is to keep this thing budget-minded, these repairs. Because I haven't driven this truck and I need an exhaust on this truck. So this is literally the most reasonable exhaust that I could find. And I did order it. Oh, that's nice. I did order it with a 4 to 6 inch MBRP tip. Okay, and this will end up somewhere about here, which again looks just right on a Cummins. It's kind of bro truck, but I think it looks good. So there you guys go. Good. I'm happy. This stuff, yeah, this comes with hangers and band clamps and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think, friends, this is gonna work out. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tackle the front end, okay, do the front brakes. The other thing I needed to buy was a 43 mil or 1 11/16 socket. I didn't have one that big, which was actually shocking for me. Biggest socket I had was 1.5 inch or a 40 mil. I did not have anything big enough for this truck, so I kind of had to stop where I was at. But yeah, I'll do the front suspension, or the front end. Then I'm going to jack this up, take the rear tires off. Okay, when I'm doing that, that's when I'm going to fit the exhaust because it'll be easier to get in and out of there. And we got that done. And then, friends, I'm going to order 4 285/75 18s. I'm kind of on the fence, friends. A 35 1250 18 would be a more common tire. Also, friends, I need a spare for this truck. This truck came with 17s, okay? If I buy a 35 1250 17, it'll be the same height as a 35 1250 18. You guys picking up what I'm throwing down? So a 285 75 is just right at 35 inches tall, 35 and a bit. A 35 is usually like 34 and 34.8, so they will be close. So I may just end up buying a single 17-inch wheel for this truck, and I'll mount the 35 1250 on it, and that'll be my spare if I need one. Hopefully it fits. So there you guys go. So let's recap. I bought this thing from the auction. I put 2 batteries, an alternator, and a crossover cable. Okay. It needs brakes, front hubs. I probably could have gotten away with the hubs for the winter, but I'm just doing them because I'm going to be in there. Brakes, front hubs, needs an exhaust system. Okay, and what's left? Clock springs, so I'll have to pull the steering wheel apart. At the same time, friends, I'm going to fix the broken blend door. I have one broken blend door, which I already bought. It's the uppy-downy door. So it's the door that controls whether the air goes up, down, or through the front vents. It's stuck on the front vent right now. So I'm going to do that. And then, friends, we're pretty much done. Taillights, again, didn't have to replace them. One was broken, but I thought, why not? Let's just do it. A couple of screws need to be put in the steps, and then I'll shampoo the carpet and vacuum her, give her a good spit polish. And this thing will be ready to rock and roll. And then the only things I need for accessories, I need about a 7-inch drop hitch. So I think I have another drop hitch underneath my bench that I think will be sufficient for this. And then I'm either going to take the headache rack off my F-250 and put it on here because, friends, I need backup lights. When you're backing trailers in here in the dark, it is impossible to see. It is so dark out here in the winter, especially winter time. It's dark by about 4:30 for about a month. So definitely 100% need backup lights. And then I'll put a light bar on the front like I normally rock. Can never have too much light out here. And then I was thinking, friends, maybe a backup camera. Backing this thing up to a trailer actually isn't too bad, but it'd be nice to be able to see behind me. This thing's super tall. I got a kid and that and a dog. It'd be nice, you know, to be able to see them. Sometimes my dog's running around. What else, friends? I think that's about it. Headlights. Those headlights I put in, they worked for about 15 minutes, and then they started to shut on and off. A couple of you guys mentioned that. I did not know about that. I bought resistors, CAN bus resistors, kind of an all-in-one deal. I plugged them in, and they didn't flicker anymore or shut on and off, but then I didn't have high beams. So I'm not sure what I want to do, friends. I'm not interested in horsing around for the next 2 weeks trying to get headlights to work. So what I may do is buy replacement headlights and put halogens back in and just call her a day for now, and then a light bar. So anyhow, friends, I'm going to let you guys go here. I just wanted to jump in. I've been super busy, and I just wanted to update you guys on the project. We'll keep going on this. I'll do front end work and brakes. And like I said, friends, so I bought this truck. I'm probably going to put about $2,000 into it. And it'll be perfect. No lights on the dash. All the accessories will work. The only thing I'm going to leave till next year probably is the AC, because it's getting into winter and I don't need AC. I'm sure it's just undercharged. I can grab gauges from work and see, but I don't want to waste time on that because the clock's ticking, friends. It's going to be winter here before we know it. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and I'll see you guys in a couple days. Later.